Hey everyone, so today's video is going to be about the summary of what's been going on with the quartering recently. I was planning on making a scripted video about the ongoing quartering debacle over the past 5, 10 years, but things just didn't stop. He just kept posting tweets and taking them down, making snide remarks in his videos, and I just decided I'm gonna make videos as things happen about this. So we're gonna dive in with a summary about it. The Kino Casino has been making videos about the quartering for years, and it's gotten to a point where they mentioned some things that the quartering was not okay with and sent him on a very funny, sad spiral in which he was posting things on Twitter, taking them down, saying things in his videos about how the Kino Casino is making people harass him and his family and how it's causing him a lot of grief. He ends up sending DMs to Josh Moon, who is the owner operator of Kiwi Farms. And Josh Moon put them all on Kiwi Farms. And he says, if you think PPP is ordering people or even casually implying that people should contact anyone in your family, you're wrong. But I think you know that already. I also think that as a 2 decade veteran of internet communications and someone around during Gamergate, you know by now that one thing you should never do is give harassment attention. So I'm not sure why you're choosing to do that. The one thing that stands out as a possibility, of course, is that, like Brianna Wu, you're using alleged harassment as pretense for a deplatforming campaign, which would be ridiculous and morally abhorrent. But you also know that. And the quartering starts to respond, and he says, it sucks because I like Andy, I guess. You're right, I should ignore him. I have tied to reason with them. Now I have no choice but to take everything they have. I hate that because I like Andy. And Josh responds with, nobody can stop you from trying, but the road of lawfare and deplatforming is extremely high risk. Kino Casino is one of the biggest streams on Kick, with probably the highest revenue on the platform. They also do paint by numbers pretty well and don't really do anything too offensive by today's standards. Their fans are also dedicated. Meanwhile, lawfare can take 5+ years and they can find sympathetic representation at a good rate while you'll have to find full-priced attorneys. Yeah, man, I get it. I don't blame you at all. Kick CEO already added me back, so we'll see. I never cared about them memeing on me at all. And I get people's. And I get. Even going down that road opens you up to the scorn and ridicule of the entire internet, so I'm not sure how it's advantageous. You're broadcasting to everyone, this is what I can't stand, and it really, really bothers me. Please don't do it. Quartering says, viewers will do whatever, but now my wife is literally terrified, so I have to act. I hear that taking down channels is something I have never wanted to do in 20 years, but I begged them to be reasonable. I honestly didn't know about my friend and his shit. LOL. LO. LOL. Haven't talked to him since, which we have found out is a lie, or Jeremy's just trying to meme really hard on everyone when he was talking about his friend coming over for darts that weekend. I had no idea he was such a degen. Josh says, like, let's put it this way. Let's say you get them deplatformed and then they sue for something like tortious interference. They can call your wife and seller in as witnesses and they get 6 hours to depose them under oath. They can also subpoena your tax records. It's not fun. Yeah, I'm not worried about lawfare. My wife supports me absolutely, and their lies are literal fiction. She's the one that said to do it. I really wish they would have followed the rules. Roast me all you want, but my family is off limits. I don't need to sue to get their YouTube shut down. PPP is ban evading. I think he meant Andy is ban evading because PPP wasn't banned. I don't want to do that. I have not sent a single flag, and I know you will publish all of this. Josh says, yeah, but they can sue for that potentially, and then you have discovery anyways. It's not a one-way street. Quartering goes on to say, I have no choice. I hope that's true, to be honest. But their channel is basically full on TOS violation. Josh says, how so? He says, I think most of it is probably within the lines. To be honest, I have no idea why that video got flagged, then reinstated. Maybe it was my buddy, but it was public record, so that was odd. I have never seen a video get taken down so fast, so I have no idea what was even in it. That wasn't me. But Eddie over at Kick already added me. And if I wanted to, I could take their channel. I really don't want to, but I have begged them to be reasonable. I have zero interest in dealing with this shit. But if my wife gets one more call or text message, I'll burn it all down and my viewers will support me. I don't know if you're married or with anyone. I still think your coffee review was one of the best. But when you're with someone, if not now, you'll know this is no option. I am not mundane Matt. My viewers 100% support this. I stand by supporting your site's legal battle either way, Josh. That was very, very rambly and excuse filled, and the random compliment about, or the random bit about Josh's coffee review being the best one he has seen is very ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, the just random bit right in the middle between I'll burn it all down and my viewers support me, and if you're not with someone now, you'll know it's not an option. Just, I liked your coffee review from that was pretty sweet. Thanks. It's kind of given like, I'm gonna give you a compliment to hope you're in my corner on this battle. But, speculation. Josh goes on to say, okay, so like there are people who don't like PPP, and if you say stuff like my life is get my life is getting angry, my wife is getting angry messages, so I'm going to attack PPP. You're basically telegraphing to these people that they should fuck with your wife because it will cause problems for two people they don't like at the same time. That's why it's generally recommended you don't say stuff like that on the internet in public. And then he goes on to say, Josh, can we agree I can take their kick in YouTube, right? If I actually wanted to, they would be D deplatformed outside of D Live in a week. I don't want that. I just want them to leave my family alone. I don't care how many Jeremy is a cuck videos they put out. Like, I have a YouTube rep. You know that, right? One phone call, gone. I have endured a lot with literally the tiniest request. I actually think they have an incredible ceiling. They are hilarious. They just have to stay within the TOS. They don't have many attempts left. They are amazing at this. The show is hilarious. I would literally be promoting it even if they made fun of me. But they don't understand the line. This isn't 2001. 2001? What? 2011? Okay. At least I will forever know my coffee is better than Peppa's. Josh says, I mean, maybe. I don't know. Sometimes you think something is really easy to deplatform and it ends up being impossible. It's kind of hard to say the fat guy dressed like Peter Cottontail is posing an imminent threat. Dude, that was super reminiscent of when iDubbbz made the attack on Kino Casino and talked about how dangerous they were, and it was during their Halloween dress up time. And he is talking about how these ridiculous looking people are super dangerous to the platform. Jeremy goes on to say, LOL, LOL, yeah, that's true. But remember, is this the same one? Jeremy says, but remember, she's a normie, and when she gets a call, she has no idea how this shit works. Josh says, but you should, which is something, with all the times he talks about people getting swatted or people having to deal with harassment, he acts like he is some form of authority on it based on what he's gone through with Gamergate. And, I came up during Gamergate. So all of this pretending that all of this was okay was ridiculous. But like, I don't want to deplatform them. I want to promote them. I don't want to put you in the middle, so I'll leave this here. I still support kiwi farms existing and will help in any way I can with the legal battle, which I guess Josh Moon went onto a stream and said that Jeremy has said this multiple times and never has contributed everything. So this is just another empty thing that he keeps throwing at Josh to try to get him to support himself during this conflict. Says, I appreciate you being open to chatting about it. There you go again. I never flagged them. I assume it was the normies they were outing. I've been around long enough to know flagging shit is a death sentence. Yet you're saying you'll burn all their shit down, dude. Like, what are we talking about here? And then Josh goes on to say, yeah, I know, nobody likes a Randall, though I still don't think they cross any red lines in modern era Kick or even YouTube. I'm just curious, why this now? Because they've been saying a lot about your relationship slash behavior with Melanie Mack and Hannah Claire for months. What happened in the last week to cause a crisis? Jeremy says, yeah, it's never been an issue until people started spamming my wife. I literally don't care that they make fun of me. Like, her family has seen this shit. Unofficial truce. Oh, and this was sent with 2 minutes in between. And then, oh my gosh, the amount of time he's taking in this space Josh is giving him. Unofficial truce. They delete the videos attacking our marriage. I never mention them again. The more they do it, the more I want to flex my connections to bury them. But I thought you knew that there are certain things you don't do on the internet. Why are you trying to flex your connections to how are you going to bury them? This is a one-time offer. They can meme on anyone else they want. I don't care if they meme on my friend who apparently has a questionable past. But then why were those the videos that were flagged? Why were none of your wife's videos? If your wife is getting harassed and you want to flex your muscle, why aren't any of the videos talking about your wife? Why aren't they getting any attack on them? Why is it only the ones about your friend? I find that it is a little ridiculous. But this is an exploding offer, an expiring offer. If they want to go to war, I will win. I assume all these messages will be public. But I like Andy. Why does he keep saying, but I like Andy? I like Andy. Just get rid of the videos claiming I let some fuck my wife and they continue to make 10,000 a month on YouTube and I move on. But they continue to spread disgusting lies about my family and I have no choice but to react. It's time for them to make a business decision. This is a win-win. Oh yeah, it's just a win-win. It's a win-win. I can burn it all down, LOL. I have 5 years guaranteed salary at Rumble, which we will go on in just a few minutes to see that that is a big fat lie. If they balk, that's not on you, and I still support Kiwi Farms. Oh, I support you guys. Yeah, don't worry, Josh. I still support you. Broker the ceasefire and everyone wins. LOL. What are you, some kind of fucking terrorist? What is going on? I don't know why they would accept that though. If someone made that same offer to you, would you take it? Hey, that's cool. It's not your job to broker it. Broker the ceasefire and everyone wins. LOL. Hey, it's not your job. It's cool. It's whatever. Dude, you're terrifying. Any retard who has been as banned as much as both of them have would if they are smart. But none of this reflects on you. It's all good. I wish you the best. This is so manic back and forth. I'm just saying, I've received offers like that, and my answer has always been no. I don't like it when people try to dictate what I or my forum can or cannot say. I let that I let him know though. Yeah, I get it. I know we have our differences, and this is all outside of that. I wish you the best and support Kiwi Farms either way. This is the third or fourth time he said this. Tomorrow at noon, I am going public on everything. Not this conversation though, because that's going to be you who makes it public, I'm sure, right? He never went public. His stream on the next day was just him talking about the news and banning people from chat. Nothing about going scorched earth on the Kino Casino, and none of the evidence completely vindicating him about not being the one who was the flagger of their videos. So, good lie there. You know what? Don't even worry about it. I'ma handle it tomorrow. Are you a teenager? I'ma handle it. I did send the offer to him, but he feels it's an extortion attempt. I'll be watching the stream on Monday. It's all good. Probably doesn't come probably does I can't even think. Probably does come across that way to him. Wish you well. Josh goes, should I unfeature this stream on Kiwi Farms? I thought you were doing a pre-stream thing today. I didn't see a tweet about canceling. This was 10 out 9 hours later. No, it was 10 hours later. Mate, it's really disrespectful to just lie to my face. Wait. What? Oh, the going public stuff? I should have told you. Fuck, sorry about that. It became clear last night they're not interested in being human, so I'll just be on my way. Oh, do you mean that you had some time to think about it at 5 o'clock in the morning after you were, now the sun was coming up and things were wearing off? You were like, what did I get myself into? In this almost 12-hour time period between this and this. And then after PPP posted it, he says, I saw PPP decided to just put out the DMs, which is fine. I expected it, but if they are not interested in being civil, there really isn't any reason in giving the time of day. If I'd have known you were going to feature it, I would have and should have told you. My bad. Josh says, I sent him the portion of the DM that contained your offer, like you asked. But I did send him the full conversation because I feel like you're outlining an extortion scheme. I was asking about your plans in the chat and ignored that, plus my DM on Twitter. I saw in your stream you had no unread messages, so I know you saw it. You just thought you'd let me advertise your stream for your for you to talk about Iran half-heartedly. I don't appreciate that. You're on a bridge burning and mistake making spree that reminds me of Ricada by the numbers. I don't feel like anything I say will help you at this point, and since you're threatening litigation, it's probably not a good idea to say much more. I believe that's all of Kino Blades. And then this is Ashton doing the posting that Quartering was talking about. He says, just so people are aware, these are the Mafia Don extortion tactics that Quartering is now using in private DMs with Josh Moon. You are not King Hambly. You need to accept that I can call you a cuck on the internet. You have a pool in your house, pound sand. He goes on to say, he asked for this to be shared with me, by the way, and it was. Now you can decide if this is a reasonable course of action or is it actionable criminal extortion. These sorts of threats are unacceptable, especially from a free speech champion. If the claims about the pool aren't true, prove it. The cowardice that I can do it to anyone else but him, who is apparently A special divine keying on the internet is a nice added touch, by the way.
All right, and this is Andy Worski. He's saying the quartering got my channel, Andy Worski, that was unbanned 6 months ago, banned as well. The channel doesn't say terminated, it just shows this page is not available. Team YouTube, this is an attack from a YouTuber who claimed he was going to use a YouTube manager to get us flagged. Retweet everyone.
Hey everyone, as you all probably seen, the Kino Casino clip channel was flagged down by the quartering. He's actually bragging about it right now by showing cards on his main Twitter page. And we weren't banned off of YouTube. We weren't ban evading. I was unbanned. I tweeted about this 3 days ago and I put the link. Well, someone just sent me a little tweet there and I checked the link. Not even terminated, just it's not appearing now. Okay, so he flagged or got this removed. My Andy Worski channel that was unbanned 6 months ago, got that banned, and the Kino Casino clip channel, even though we were unbanned. Everyone, could you @Team YouTube for us and let them know that this is ridiculous and that we are appealing this, obviously. We're gonna be on Kick here. I'm actually a minute late for start.
All right, so I don't know what the status of their appeal for Andy Worski's channel and Kino Casino clips, but I do know that Alyssa Clips is the one who's been posting clips of their show, and they were talking about getting their locals set up. Was it locals or Patreon that they decided to do? So that's where they're posting all of their stuff in light of all of this happening. Jeremy was talking about how he wasn't flagging anything, and in one of his live streams during the week after all of this, he was going to look into his email because someone was requesting a refund from Coffee Brand Coffee, and everyone spotted this email from YouTube saying thank you for your report to YouTube. I couldn't find the thread that had the YouTuber who went through and flagged his old gaming channel and to prove that you would get the same email and that it was for flagging videos. But that ended up happening, and so everyone is pretty certain that this is evidence that he was flagging something. And he showed a couple of the accounts flagging history, and they were empty, but apparently one of his accounts that had some previous flagging history, he refused to show that. And everyone's speculating that that is the one that got this email and that was the account that it was flagged from. Brittany Venti decided to jump in because some videos of the quartering from a couple years ago being very inebriated on one of his streams talking about doing anything he could to impregnate and have babies with Brittany Venti it was going around and it was very viral for a couple of days. So Brittany Venti decided that she was going to jump in and start documenting his degeneracy over the years and his deleting of all of his tweets that he is. So she's been posting a bunch of different tweets that he deleted shortly after taking them, in which he is proving he is not thinking things through. He said, if I actually wanted to get them banned from YouTube, it would be very easy. And then he puts every name that he knows PPP by up and says he's been banned multiple times on YouTube. It would be as simple as reporting the channel for ban evasion, which of course I haven't done and proved it. One of the other ones was everything is fair game. First will be your YouTube, which is in violation of ban evasion. Easy takedown. And next will be your Kick. And then Andy got his YouTube banned, and he is the only one who was quote unquote banned from YouTube at that point in time, or before that point in time. I literally begged you two to be reasonable. I tried everything. You chose this. All I wanted was to let you guys dunk on me. Right. And then she responds to her post and she says, quick rundown on how the quartering went woke. The quarter cuck gets butthurt at the Kino Casino for laughing at him for being boring, oversharing, and constantly crowdfunding money despite flexing wealth. Jeremy has a Jewish bull named Adam that is publicly a swinger and has a criminal record. Jeremy openly lusts after many women, including her, saying that he wanted her babies. His wife has no children, by the way. The Kino Casino points out this hypocrisy since he's Schrodinger's conservative and also a Christian. Jeremy from the quartering said he wanted Kino Casino to lose it all for this, flexes his connections to get them banned. Uses his wife as a shield, claiming she is not an internet person despite featuring her heavily on his channel and mentions her on her stream constantly. And apparently she is very forward-facing on the Coffee Brand Coffee website as well. Blames Kino Casino for her alleged harassment. The quartering, former free speech advocate, refuses to apologize to the Kino Casino for encouraging deplatforming them. He doubles down. Now after he encouraged them getting deplatformed, their YouTube has been terminated. Whoa, buddy. This is Josh pointing out that since the quartering still is under contract with Rumble, they're advocating, them being the advocates of free speech and being the free speech platform, having one of their main creators be flagging people or at least say they're going to be flexing their muscle to get people taken off the internet. It is not a very good look. And this is the screenshot from Jeremy's stream where he accidentally showed everyone his Rumble analytics the day after the Kino Casino was dunking on him for being poor or being a fraud. And then this is the screen that Andy Worski was getting when he was getting banned, when he got banned and his channel got taken down. Rehashing of his YouTube agent. Quartering ends up getting on Twitter and responding to all of the things everyone is putting up. Andy says quartering has admitted to flagging us. He is trying to get us banned on Kick for making fun of him. He claims I am ban evading on YouTube, which I was unbanned earlier this year. The channel is ran by someone else. Also, you bring up your wife daily. Quartering responds by saying, I have shown unrefuted video evidence that I have in fact not flagged you. Now that you have continued to lie about me, Andy, I'll go ahead and take everything you have. I have given you clowns plenty of runway, both publicly and privately. Enough is enough. Too bad. I liked you. So every time he'll say, I'm not for that. I don't like flagging. Oh, you stepped too far. I'm gonna take everything you have. I thought they could make fun of you. I thought they could talk shit about you. What happened to just ignoring it? I don't know. If it's not a big deal, why are you talking about it? Here are more screenshots of deleted posts from Jeremy saying, I don't care if you have an issue with me, but attacking my co-hosts, their families, that's fucking low. You know who you are. I've seen all your pathetic DMs begging for dirt, harassing them, harassing their families. Holy shit. They have nothing to do with any of this. This is in reference to people DMing Hannah Claire and Melanie Mack and saying, hey, your boss is flagging people. He's having a drunken meltdown on the internet talking about flexing his muscle and making it to where people can't speak freely on the internet. Hannah Claire, you used to work for Tim Pool. Melanie Mack, you're the anti-leftist, anti-shutting down of free speech. I don't think it's harassing to say that public figures getting messages about hypocritical stance. I don't think that's harassing. Goes on to say, retards keep telling me to take a break. Well, I would love to if you low-life scum would have a fucking ounce of self-awareness. You're harassing my staff like they have anything to do with it and you expect me not to defend them? They're being attacked because of what you've done. the way you defend them is by apologizing for what you've done, I would think, not attacking the people calling you out for doing something wrong. And then recently, this is what's been happening this week. A creator author named Luther the writer, he'd made the lolcal book, did a video about Jeremy and Coffee Brand Coffee. And it was going into the fraudulent statements Jeremy was making, where he was talking about the coffee being a family recipe, and it's roasted in house, and all of these things to make it feel more artisanal and make people want to buy it. And it turns out that it's just coffee from a white label production company. Luther went through and was talking about various aspects of that, and at some point the video was taken down. Everyone is speculating it's the quartering or the quartering audience. We will wait for the days to go along to see how that ends up going. This is something that I've been finding super interesting about this. So, Camelot and quartering, I won't say they were friends, but they would go on each other's streams often. And so I think it is something to be appreciated that the Side Scroller podcast and Camelot are going against this direct hypocrisy, because they were people who could directly benefit from Jeremy. And Camelot has just been roasting him. Him and Yellow Flash have been going off. And I think that's been what's been hurting Jeremy the most, is seeing what he considers to be his friends thinking he did something wrong. So Camelot goes, flags down Kino Casino clips and Andy Worski's channel, flags down Rantman, flags down Alyssa Clips, flags down Luther Morgan. Who does the quartering flag down next? Coming to Polly Market and Kalshi soon. Brittany Venti saying it's the 7th video. What's going on with free speech? D-Day Cobra has also been one of the ones who have been making some pretty banger replies to Jeremy, as someone who was somewhat formerly associated with him. So yeah, this post was talking about how his views and his earnings and all of that isn't adding up on Social Blade. And D-Day Cobra is one of the YouTubers who talks about some of the YouTube analytics and like how shorts affects your analytics on YouTube, and how shorts is very, very inflated. It's, everyone's trying to be TikTok, so they're having a hard time figuring out who's actually viewing and subscribing to a channel, and if it's just a shorts view. It says it's because YouTube shorts. It's a completely different audience that doesn't watch live streams, long form videos, or pay attention to drama. Basically TikTok brain rot viewers. It's the easiest way to boost subs and give the illusion that your channel is growing and get advertising money. And Smash JT responds to it and he says, that would make some sense. Doesn't explain the mass exodus in the face of it all, unless there's a spike happening right now from that significant jump to make up for those losses, and then some. I feel like there's more than just shorts to explain these. A lot of people don't understand how Social Blade updates their numbers. He's not gaining 10,000 subs in one day. It updates every 10,000 subs gained because of the size of his channel. Okay, so I was a little off in how this was being measured. So over the course of these days, at some point, he reached 10,000 on this day. And then over the course of these days, this is when he hit his 10,000 mark, is what I believe he's saying. Okay. And then people moved on to Jeremy was talking on his live stream with Melanie Mack and Hannah Claire, talking about how he was up all night and he couldn't sleep, so he decided he would make his shorts, and he busted out like 150 shorts or something. And look at all of these, just exactly the same. These are the shorts that he busts out. This is what he's talking about. Is in hey, look at what this various video is. Check it out. Lets the entire video play. Maybe at the end of the video he'll say, leave a like and subscribe. Tell me what you think. It's completely ridiculous. In regard to Jeremy's lying about Rumble, he at one point said he had a 5-year contract with Rumble, and it came out that Chris Pavlovsky said we don't do 5-year contracts. That's not a thing. We're actually moving away from contracts. But the quartering is still on, saying every single creator can have a Rumble deal, just like me. It's super easy. Just use Rumble Studio and run the ads just like I do. It's free money. The more people need to get in and go get it. So everyone he keeps doing all these, oh, look at how great Rumble is, free speech money, in between all of his melting down about being made fun of. So everyone's speculating if it's some kind of thing to push people into using YouTube. Like, I don't know, it's ridiculous. Looking forward to another massive year on Rumble. We're even more integrated now than ever, and thanks to our partnership, we're building a new studio to host IRL guests, hopefully in time for midterms. They have always had my back, and the next several years are gonna rock. So, still going on with we next several years, me and Rumble. Here is Hotep reporting on the showing of the flagging email. So Chris Pavlovsky says free speech and AI will intersect at Rumble. And people began responding to this. And someone says, you're willingly paying millions to a creator who is using his clout to cancel other creators over free speech. And Chris Pavlovsky banned this blocked this person for bringing that up. And this person brings up that they were banned, and Chris responds to them saying, "No, I'm not taking sides. I don't get involved in creator drama. If I did, I'd waste my days dealing with thousands of Rumble creators. If YouTube cancels someone, take it up with YouTube. It has nothing to do with Rumble. If someone on Rumble is for cancel culture, I absolutely don't agree with that, but that's their prerogative and their choice. But I definitely won't fall to pressure by canceling them back. In fact, we welcome whoever got canceled on Rumble. Your YouTube was a bad choice to begin with." So he's just completely saying, I'm not going to pay attention to this. I don't care if someone is using my platform and a contract with my platform and being in association with my platform and people in power at my platform to get things done that are anti free speech. I'm not going to take a position on that, because then if I did that, I'd have to pay attention to thousands of other Rumble creators who might be doing that. Is your platform free speech if it's actively getting people's accounts taken down on other platforms? Didn't you start your platform because people were trying to get people taken down on YouTube? Why is it okay for people to use your platform to get videos taken down off of YouTube then? Someone says, at the quartering, I'm pretty sure I accidentally got the Casino Clips channel taken down by reporting a video of theirs, and it's getting brought to YouTube's attention, lol. Jeremy responded to that saying, now wait a minute. No. Again, I disavow. But it's like the entire internet is purposely forgetting I have a few viewers that maybe took exception to their harassment. I never told anyone to do this, by the way. Not that anyone cares. No, but you went on a drunken tirade talking about how they're ban evading. Oh, look at how bad they are. They're harassing me. They're harassing my wife. This is getting dangerous. You have a few viewers, maybe they would take offense on your behalf, maybe, and you should not say you're going to do what you can to destroy someone's career to embolden them. I don't know, maybe. Quartering says, Mini Spurg over. It's just a bummer that people are mad at me for no reason. And because they can't get a reaction from me. They kinda did. They harass those around me. It puts my friends in a horrible spot, and for that, I apologize to them. Jaden McNeil says, Who put your free speech warrior co hosts in a bad position, Jeremy? Could it be the guy who said he was going to take the Kino Casino's YouTube and kick for making fun of you? And the thing I want to end this video on was this video from 2 days ago of the Quartering responding to Ashley St. Clair talking about releasing some DMs between her and Benny Johnson. I have no idea about what's going on with that, but he says something within the first minute of that that is very, he puts himself in victim shoes very well.
Look, before I get into these wild claims about Benny Johnson or this basically threatening video that Elon Musk's baby mama, Ashley St. Clair, just put out, I want to start and say this first and foremost. Benny Johnson has never been anything but kind to me. He has never come off to me as, as anything but just a dude that wants to, grow his business as big as possible. To me, he comes across as a guy that loves his family. And, he's faced a lot of these kind of wild claims that, oddly enough, seem to never really materialize. There were people on the internet stating as fact that, Benny was into men. None of that quote unquote evidence ever seemed to come out, but the internet ran with that. I mean, I, for one, know exactly what that's like when the internet decides on a narrative and there's not a lot you can do against it. You just kind of brace for impact and you let the internet do what they're going to do. You take your lashes and you move forward, or you get down in the mud with them and you fight, which only makes it worse. That's something that I have learned the hard way recently. But also, it's just the truth of it. The internet's going to get its pound of flesh, whether it's right or wrong. But in my experience, Benny Johnson has never been anything.
Okay. So he admits that he got down in the dirt and made it worse for himself. That was a very, very soft retelling of what happened and what you did and your part in it. You didn't just get down in the mud with people making fun of you and talking crap. You used your quote unquote authority and inflicted that on other creators. That's absolutely ridiculous. I have no idea how this is going to keep going. Is he going to get, are we going to have any more drunken tirades? Is he going to cool it? I have been loving the back and forth between all of the creators on X who are finally talking about all of the crazy things that this guy does, because the second he started showing up in the anti-woke gaming media sphere and the conservative sphere, and he started talking about how, after Charlie Kirk died, I became a Christian and I dropped thousands of dollars on this crucifix. Like, look how good of a Christian I am. I haven't missed a day of church. And then a couple weeks ago, we're at the point where he's saying, I've been really bad about it. It's been a couple months since I actually got in there, but, I'm planning on going on Easter Sunday. So it's going to be very interesting to see how far down the trail this ends up going. So I will talk to you guys later. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.